Hello, hello. Welcome back to Spellbound. I'm BJ, and these are my best books of 2023 so far. So every year I write in my planner a Battle of the Books bracket, and you can see the results of my 2022 Battle of the Books right here. But so far what I have for this year are my favorite books of each month from January to June. So let's take a look. For January, I have the Savior's Book Cafe story In Another World by Kyouka Izumi. This manga series is a quirky, cozy, funny, at times whimsical but entirely self-aware story about a woman who is approached by a god representing another world. And this god is like, hey, can you come be our world's savior? And the woman is like, no, I cannot. I am 30 and I literally only want to read books and eat scones. And the god's like, bet, cool. If you come with me to this world, I'll give you magical powers, I'll give you a book cafe, I'll give you all the things, and all you have to do is bake scones and read books unless and until the opportunity arises for you to be that world savior, because technically this other world already has a savior, they're just not doing a good bang up job of it. And so the woman's like, fine. So she travels with him to this other world, which is almost identical to our world, except it has kind of some magic. And she opens up her own book cafe and she bakes scones. And that is her entire life. And she also develops a slow burn romance with a soldier who comes into her book cafe every day and reads a book and eats her scones. Honestly, it is cozy perfection. There are 5 books. They are very funny and it's just a lighthearted good time. February is OPHIE'S Ghosts by Justina, Ireland. This one follows Ophi as she and her mom are forced to flee their home in the Jim Crow South following a terrible incident, and they move to Philadelphia to stay with some estranged relatives. And on the night of this terrible incident, Ophi discovers that she can see ghosts. So when she and her mom take up as maids in Daffodil Manor for this wealthy white family in Philadelphia, Ophi is somewhat overwhelmed by the amount of haunts, both friendly and not, that she can interact with. So Ophi starts to piece together a mystery of this white family's past using clues provided to her by the manor's ghosts. And it's a really cute story. This book is a middle grade, and Ophi is a very fun and plucky middle grade character to root for as she plays detective. But this book also never really lets you forget what you're doing and why you're here. And Justina, Ireland balances this tone of creepy, ethereal, at times funny, but also historical and therefore tragic, in a really, really thoughtful and well-balanced way, and also in a completely age-appropriate way. So this book is so, so good, and I cannot wait to read more from Justina, Ireland. And March's winner was Cursed Princess Club Volume 1 by LambCat. This book follows Gwendolyn, or Gwen, as she is the youngest of the 3 princesses of the Pastel Kingdom. Both of her sisters are incredibly beautiful, but Gwen is not. So when the princess's father announces all of their betrothal to the 3 princes of the Plaid Kingdom, all of the girls are excited, and they get even more excited when it's announced that the princes will be coming to the Pastel Kingdom to meet them. Meanwhile, Gwen receives a mysterious invitation to join the Cursed Princess Club, which is a secret society of cursed princesses that meets in the woods, and it's full of these various cursed princesses with hilarious backstories and tragedies that have befallen them. At first, she's unsure and doesn't feel that maybe she necessarily belongs in with this cast of characters. But later on, when Gwen overhears the youngest Plaid prince, and her betrothed publicly reject her and call her ugly, she starts to reconsider that maybe this Cursed Princess Club might have more to it than she originally thought. This graphic novel is laugh out loud funny, has silly, original characters, and so much heart. And I just read the sequel, and it was, if you can believe it, even funnier than the first one. April's winner was Delilah Green Doesn't Care by Ashley Herring Blake. This is a sapphic rom-com and the only rom-com I have ever rated 5 stars. This book follows Delilah Green, a cynical up-and-coming photographer in New York City, when she is hired to shoot the wedding, as a photographer, shoot the wedding of her estranged stepsister back in their hometown in Oregon. When she arrives back home, she is confronted with the same cold and isolating feelings that she experienced all throughout her childhood. But she also starts to develop another perspective as well. And she starts to consider that maybe her grief over her father's death has skewed her teenage perception of her stepsister and her stepsister's friends. And even though she's not close with her stepsister, she doesn't want her to make a mistake by moving forward with this sham of a wedding to an absolute jerk. But all of this is made even more complicated by the undeniable fact that Delilah is developing feelings for her stepsister's best friend, Claire. This book is funny and witty and has this really incredible cast of characters, but it is the nuance of these characters and their relationships that bring the drama and the seriousness to this story, and it is very good. May's winner is Empty Smiles by Katherine Arden. This is the fourth and final installment to Katherine Arden's spooky middle grade Small Spaces series. This series follows Ollie and her friends as they attempt to outsmart and eventually defeat the Smiling Man in these ever-increasing dangerous and cerebral mind games against sentient scarecrows, spooky ghosts, a lake monster, terrifying clowns, and a carnival full of listening dolls. This book is the most suspenseful one yet, as Ollie has to learn how to defeat the Smiling Man before he makes her his progeny. And my favorite book in June was Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros. So I did it. I read Fourth Wing, I joined the hype train, and I don't regret it. This book follows Violet as she is sort of forced into the most dangerous faction at a military college, the Dragon Riders, so named because they have to be bonded with dragons, and that's also why they're the most dangerous. The thing is, there are way more applicants than there are dragons, and there's no such thing as an unbonded dragon rider. So the whole point of the entire first year at this military academy is just killing off all of the applicants who can't hack the increasingly dangerous and violent tasks. It is also an epic romantasy, which is fantasy romance, and has plenty of danger and politics and adventure and secret dalliances, etc., etc. Now, it is also no surprise that this book is incredibly hyped. This book is everywhere, and it is beloved by many and begrudged by many, and both sides of this camp are very valid. This book is not the most well-written book. It is written in that Sarah J. Maas very accessible type of style, which is really just a coded phrase for an easy and immature reading level, which is fine, but also opens itself up to criticism. It is very, very surface level writing. And there are some, if not plot holes, then some very odd gaps in logic and sound reasoning that don't make a lot of sense. The biggest one to me anyway is that if this nation has been at war and losing for the past however many hundred years, it doesn't make total sense to me that they would subject like 30 to 50% of every class at their military academy to like these Squid Games type of hazing. Like, it seems unlikely that the penalty of failure is imminent death instead of like demotion or transferring to a different military faction. Like, it can't be that they would rather you perish than serve the military in literally any other way. But that seems to be the case, and perhaps that's why they keep losing this war. But for all of that, was this book fun? Yes, incredibly. Is this bingeable? Yes, entirely. Did I stay up all night 2 nights in a row reading it? Yes, irresponsibly. And did I pre-order the sequel? Yes, immediately. This book is a good time. And if you don't care about critically reviewing or analyzing your reading, then this is probably going to go down as one of the best books of 2023 for a lot of folks. And it is a really good time. But it's important for me to say that all of the criticisms against it are entirely valid. So that's it for today. My best books of 2023 so far. I would love to know what your best book of 2023 has been so far, especially if you have a recommendation for me. And finally, if you liked this video, give it a thumbs up. And if you loved it, hit subscribe. And of course, there is always Instagram. But take care and happy reading.